we're talking about linear momentum. According to Newton's first law of motion, we understand that a body will continue in its permanent state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line, except it's being acted upon. You are checking from somewhere. I know that.
By an external.
So how did you remember that? Okay, a body will continue in a permanent state of rest. That means you can keep that book on your table for a very long time, for 100 years. It would not move except there's an external force. Maybe there's a wind, or there's an external force, a hand coming to push it out. So a body will continue its permanent state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line unless it's being acted upon by a force. Okay, so that's a uniform motion. That's Newton's first law of motion. Did you write that down? I hope you wrote that. Okay, now the next thing we'll be looking at is inertia. Inertia, okay. What do you understand about inertia?
Inertia is the force.
Sorry?
It's the force.
It's a force. Okay, what kind of force is it? Definitely, almost everything is a force. Okay, you've entered your mom's car before. If she wants to start the car, do you notice that the car would want to go back first before going forward?
Yes.
Okay, number one. Number two, when you woke up this morning, was it very easy for you to wake up this morning? Was it very easy for you to come to class this morning?
No.
No. That is what we call inertia. Exactly. That's exactly what we call inertia. That's a tendency, please write. The tendency of a body to remain or to stay in its state of rest. In a state of rest. That means you are not willing to go out. There's this unwillingness to continue. So it's actually the tendency of the body to remain in its state of rest or uniform linear motion. So when a car is about starting, just note that it has to go back first. Okay, that's why when you're driving a car, you should actually leave, and there are other cars around, you should actually give some distance apart, because when that car is about to start, it will definitely come back a bit before it goes forward. All right, then that's what we call inertia. Now, Newton's first law of motion is actually called the law of inertia. Newton's first law of motion is actually called the law of inertia. I've actually told you how we can apply Newton's first law of motion. Number one, a moving car is brought to rest by the application of brake. Now, the passengers, what you notice about them is they will suddenly go forward and then continue in their straight line. That's why it's advisable to use your safety belt, because once he applies the brake, you notice that you jet forward. All right. The next thing I just told you about, a body most times comes to rest. That's a moving body due to opposing forces such as air resistance, friction, or the pull of gravity. Now, that brings us to what we call momentum. Now, what is momentum? Please write. Momentum is defined as the product of mass and velocity. Momentum is defined as the product of mass and velocity. And if that's what momentum is, that means the SI unit of momentum, mass is in kg, velocity is in meter per second. So the SI unit for momentum will be kilogram, meter per second, or it can be Newton per second. All right. Now we know that momentum, I said, I said that momentum, okay? I have to share my screen now. Oh no, just freezed. Okay, momentum P is equals to mv, that's the mass, times the velocity. Mass is measured in kilogram. V is measured in meter per second. All right? So that's exactly